Hey guys, EBPMAN here, and in today's video we're going to do an unboxing review of the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 5G Ultra and also take a look at cases that you're going to want to buy from UAG. Let's go ahead and check them out. Now, the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 5G Ultra was released yesterday, so if you're on your way to the store to pick up one of these fantastic phones, you're going to want to have a case as well. So in today's video, we're taking a look at the Samsung Note 20 Ultra 5G, and we're taking a look at every single case from UAG. You know, they're one of my favorite cases, and they're super durable and they're going to protect your phone. So let's do the unboxing and we'll see how these cases fit and if they wireless charge too. Now, the version of the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 5G Ultra that I've purchased is the 128 gig version from AT&T. I didn't go for the higher version. I wanted to save some money. And by the way, you can expand the memory anyway with the memory card to go, much larger than the 128. So save some money and just get the lower version. At least that's what I did. When we open the box, a couple things. So I'm just going to slide this cover off so you can see what you'll see. The first thing that we'll notice is that we have our phone here, and I'll put this in an angle, and hopefully this will come up in camera. I think it is. The screen protector, one of the things that's interesting is that the screen protector has a cutout right where your fingerprint is. So there's actually a little cutout here. I've never seen that before in any of the other implementations. So that's kind of interesting. Hopefully in the angle right there that comes up. We'll go ahead and put this over to the side. Inside the box, we also have our SIM card. So I'll put the SIM card over to the side here. And from an accessories perspective, we have a USB-C cable, right? So we can see that in here. And again, it's going to be the type that's USB-C on both sides. And that's pretty much it. In the past, you received with your Samsung products headphones. You had the wired headphones, and we don't really see that anymore, at least with this version. So simply in the box, you have your SIM card if you've purchased it through your specific carrier. If you have an unlocked version, you wouldn't have one. You have your charging cable, and then you have your charging brick. Now, before taking a closer look at the phone and even comparing it to the previous Samsung Note 10, one of the things I'll highlight is that your charging brick is a super fast charging brick. So even though it's smaller and it's relatively the same size as its predecessor, let me just show you one of the existing ones that we have right here on the side. So notice this is one of the previous versions. They're very similar in size, but this one's going to give you a faster charging rate. So if you do have other Samsung phones and you have previous charging bricks, just make sure that you use the newest one, because this is going to give you the fastest possible charging. Using the old one is going to give you a slow charge, although you still could use it if you're using it as a backup. Now, if you're curious on how the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 5G compares to the Note 10, here we have them side by side. I'm going to go ahead and place them just like this so that you can see. From a thickness perspective, they feel like they're the same thickness, right? From a weight perspective, I'd say that your handling is going to be pretty much the same. The one thing that stands out the most, if you take a look at this, is that the camera bump. This is massive compared to the one that you had previously. So my Note 10, you can notice how thin profile it is and how much of it is here. And then over here, you can tell how much of this camera bump really pops out. Unfortunately, what that's going to do is if case manufacturers are trying to protect this area from being damaged, your cases are going to be a little bit thicker because it needs to compensate for this here. Now, you're going to find some really thin profile cases that we'll have on the channel, and those will probably not give you enough protection in order to be slimline. But that's one of the big changes there. If we put it like this, you'll notice that the new Note 20 is a little bit taller. You can see that. I'll put it right here so you can see how much further it comes up. From a width perspective, though, they feel like they're about the same. So we're just going to put them side by side like this. Yeah, so if you think about how it's going to fit in your hand, it's going to feel the same, right? It's just going to be, depending on the case you get, you're probably going to have one that's going to be a little bit thicker. As we take a look at the top here, let's see what has changed here. So we'll go ahead and make sure that we're camera to camera. So you have your SIM tray. You can see your SIM tray is in the same place. You have also some mics here, and you can see that there's two here. Here you only see one, right? You can see that big difference there. If we flip this over, we'll notice that the S Pen is now moved. So you have it here. Now it's on the opposite side. Speaker as well looks at it smooth, so it's next to your S Pen, which was on this side. Pinhole mic, USB-C charging. And so that looks pretty much the same. On the side here, if we look at the buttons, the power button, you have nothing right here on the Note 10. Over here, you do have your buttons on the Note 20. So you have your volume rocker and again, your power button. If you flip over here, you'll notice that there's nothing. So they actually flipped everything. So if you've been using the Note 20 for Note 10 for some time, it's probably going to take a little to get used to now that the new buttons or the buttons are in a different place. Now, another major change that we've been having here, and you'll notice that the camera module is massive, but it does have improved specs when it comes to the megapixels and all the features that you have here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pull over here my S20 Ultra, and you notice that the camera module of the S20 Ultra seems to be wider. Well, it's actually wider, but it's also pretty pronounced, and that's what's happened with this UAG case. You notice that's a little bit thicker. So big thing here is going to be the camera. We're going to be doing some testing to see what the actual photo quality is like, to see if it's worth it. There are a lot of people who are doing reviews on the overall camera quality, but Samsung tends to do a fantastic job with them. It also has that little rattle, so listen. Right, so it's going to rattle a little bit because of the type of camera that it has in one of these lenses. That is something that you even had with the S20 or the S20 Ultra. Listen. So you can hear the same thing. It does the rattling as well. So that's something that may or may not annoy you, but just be aware that there's nothing broken with the phone whatsoever. It's just the way the camera itself, the lens itself, shifts inside. Now, one thing I want to highlight before we turn this on is that it does have a dual screen protector. So you have your fingerprint sensor here, but then if I remove this, this is actually a screen protector that's on top of an existing screen protector. So there's actually a screen protector underneath it. But as I mentioned at the opening, I had never seen where they had the actual first layer with the cutout where the fingerprint is. I think they've done that just to help people register their finger. So what we're going to do is I'm going to remove this because I know more or less where the fingerprint sensor is going to be and have had no problem with it. But if you find yourself having difficulty registering your fingerprint, you can leave this film on and you can actually feel where it is. I think that it's a good option for those of you who have trouble registering your finger. Now, for those of you who are seeking the SIM tray remover, if you look at the cover of your case, you'll find that there's this little area here that you can pop out. This is going to have some miscellaneous stuff. It's going to have your SIM tray remover as well as a user guide, some miscellaneous information that no one really reads, but it's still available there. So again, if you're looking for the SIM tray remover, it's going to be found here. Now, this phone has been fully activated. I just want to share with you some of the things that are going on. So initially, when you unbox this phone, turn it on and get it activated, there's going to be a series of downloads that are going to start coming down. So you can see all these downloads are going to start happening. So first thing that you'll notice is that if we swipe over to the right, you're going to be able to see the Samsung Daily News thing. This is something that you can turn off. I'm going to have a series of things like the first 10 things or 20 things that you should do to your Note 20 Ultra to just optimize it and get it working just like you want it. On the other side here, you have a series of AT&T apps that are available. If you subscribe to any of these are pretty good, but this is something typically that I turn off or remove, and we'll show you those in the tips and tricks. Over here, as you swipe up, you have all your icons, and there's not a lot there, right? Outside of the stuff that's AT&T installed, we'll disable or remove as many as we can and keep the ones that we want. Now, as you look at it at the very beginning, you'll notice that the icons are really large, right? Because of the resolution that this comes with right out of the box. In the tips and tricks videos that we have, we're going to show you how you can reduce the size of the icons, how you can turn on dark mode, how you can get this to work exactly like you want to. And you'll notice also that you don't even see the battery percent right here. So let's take a look at the cases that you'll want to pick up, especially if you're going to be heading out to the store to pick up the phone today. And again, I want to share with you all of these UAG ones. So let's get right to it. Now, for those of you who may have not ever purchase a UAG case, let me just highlight some of the things about them and why you should consider them. First of all, these are going to be one of the thinnest cases that you can find that give you the best protection for your phone. They're going to protect the front and the back of your phone. They are also drop tested, so that's something that's really great, and they're incredibly durable. So this is the case that I've had on my Note 10, and you'll notice it looks fantastic, right? So really doesn't show much wear to it at all. And if I were to compare the one that I have right here on my, again, S20 Ultra, you notice it has some scuffs on it, right here on the side, but that comes off easy. And they just wear really well. I also have on my Fold, this is another UAG case, right? And they just tend to wear really, really well. So really trust this brand. And they just do such a nice job protecting your phone. So in addition to drop protection, again, what you have is a lot of different styles that you can go with. So depending on the color of the UAG case or your phone and the kind of look that you want, you can choose any one of these. So this is some of the cool features about it. You have, again, this pattern in the inside, which is going to protect the phone if it were to drop. It kind of absorbs the impact. You'll notice that this kind of depth that you have right here really removes also the impact from the back, right? So it's kind of raised, and you'll notice that it's kind of lifted in this area, again, lifting your phone above. You also have this nice rubberized ring going all the way around your camera module, and then you have, you know, all these cutouts right here that are going to give you a lot of protection. I'm just going to put the phone in this case just like this so that we can see it. Right? All right, so that's nice in place there. Snap this in place. And you notice super duper thin profile, right? Notice how well it protects the camera module. And so you can see the depth that you have here. And you're going to find these with all UAG cases. They have great camera protection on the side, so you won't have to put anything on it to protect it, right? What you then have here is good bumper protection on the corners, right? Really nice there. The buttons are really responsive, so you notice they just turn things on really nicely. Screen protection on the front, right? So it's above the screen. And these cases are typically Whitestone glass compatible, right? So I have a Whitestone on this phone, for example. So this has a Whitestone glass protector on it. And I've had it on all the phones that I've used with these cases, so that's going to work. If we want to check the wireless charging, we'll put it right on top. And notice that it starts wireless charging right away. The next case we're taking a look at is another plasma case, but this one it's not a clear case, it's kind of like it has like a tint to it. Same features as the other one, but once again, depending on the color of the phone that you chose, it's going to, you know, either highlight or, you know, or not the actual colors. You notice how with the black, this looks really sharp. It gives it a more smoky look in the back, but it shares the exact same features as the previous case. Wireless charging works, and even all the tap features that you would have when you tap it against the register, you have no problem with these. But this is what it would look like. In the back, the front of all the phones are going to be looking the same in the case as well. So that's the kind of look that you can expect. Now the Monarch series that we're looking at here, and we have 3 versions of it, is my go-to case. This is the case that I have on my phone. I really enjoy these. And you'll notice that we have 3 types here. We have one that has a carbon fiber back, one that has, or 2 that have leather with different treatments. One is red and one is black. And they all share the same characteristics except some of the materials that change on the back. From a protection perspective, you really can't go wrong with any of these cases. It has rubberized interior with raised pattern that keeps the back of your phone away from the back, but it doesn't raise it so much that it makes this case super thick. I'm going to go ahead and place my phone in the first one right here so we can see what this looks like. All right, and you'll notice again, great protection all the way around. Right, the back camera module, very well protected. You notice I can put my finger over, it's not going to get a smudge. And then also just the stealthy look of this case is one of my favorite. If we try to do the wireless charging thing, again, it's going to wireless charge as well. So you can see it already beeped and it's wireless charging. And it really comes down to the overall look that you're looking for. So let's take a look at the other 2 so you can see which one you prefer. Now the next one that we're taking a look at is the Monarch that has the actually red in the back. I think this is a really sharp looking case. I like the offset between the black and the red. Just looks really, really hot. And again, wireless charging works as well. Shares the same features, right? So you have this nice grip area here, and then you have this extended protection on each one of the corners. You can't go wrong. Now the last one we're taking a look at is the carbon fiber version, and you notice it has a nice carbon fiber back. Again, that stealth logo in the back that looks really hot, and then also great camera protection. And then at the very bottom, you know, notice the kind of protection you're getting for your stylus. So your stylus, your S Pen, have no problems with that, and really great protection protecting the bottom of your phone as well. So again, fantastic cases, and just make sure that when you go pick up your S20, or in this case, the Note 20 Ultra, that you grab a case. Guys, so that wraps up our unboxing, first impressions of the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to update the phone. We're going to pass all our apps over using the Samsung Switch application, and then we're going to create a series of video tutorials for you. So make sure that you check the channel because there's a lot coming. Make sure you subscribe. See you in the next one.